Are you ready? I said, are you ready? You are listening to Voice of the Fans Sportscast, brought to you by none other than the voices of the fans. Discussing football, basketball, news, trending topics. The one-stop shop for all things sports. Voice of the Fans Sportscast. Hosted by none other than Ben Swift Reynolds, Taylor Gatwood, 100% RC, Professor Damian Flowers, and Tyler Wright.
Hey guys, welcome to Voice of Fans Sportscast. This is a podcast for fans just like us. We have a special guest with us, Sam Crow from J&J Production. He also do Pod Squad with my brother. Welcome, Sam Crow.
Thank you much. How's it going, bro?
Man, it's going good on this Tuesday. Tuesday. Just been one hectic day, man. That's all I can say.
Right? Yeah, it's enough said sometimes. That's all you got to say.
I don't even want to start, talking about my day, but we here and I just want get into about sports,
the good stuff.
Dive into some good stuff with some top headliners going into the NFL season right now. Hey, Sound Pro, the first NFL preseason is this week, man.
I know. I can't believe you blink and it's like, oh my gosh, the draft was just like yesterday. So here we are. It's like opening day it's almost like spring training. Or spring training's almost over for that. Everything's over. Now the games are starting and it's a whole new year. Like, wow. All right, game on.
It's like, where has the year gone? I feel like it just ended. Now it's starting back again.
Yeah. It's like the summer just started. It's like, oh my gosh, it's almost August already. Like, shoot, it's gonna be regular season starts September kickoff. Like, man, it's crazy.
What a time.
Yep.
Well, man, we're gonna start off with some NBA. We got a segment called Fast Break. So here. Welcome to Fast Break. This is our NBA portion / WNBA, pretty much basketball talk segment. SoundCrow and the people who listen in, I don't know if y'all saw Luka transformation, but I have a picture to show y'all that he mean business.
Yeah, he stepped up.
Look at that guy. Muscle.
Unreal.
He slimmed down a lot.
Unbelievable.
Man, shout out to his trainer. Shout out to that guy, man.
Give him credit.
Dallas Mavericks GM was talking about how Luke was too fat and everything, and Luka said, "Bet, watch me work."
I give him a lot of credit. I mean, he took a lot of heat, so at least he's showcasing, like, what. So at least he's showing that by him stepping up that he's willing to really own that mantle and be like this guy that the Lakers wanted. I mean, obviously, that trade for me was one of the dumbest I probably have ever seen. No offense to anybody else, but obviously Lakers won that trade. So, for him to really step up and, again, health too. It's good to be healthier. You look better. You're leaner. You can move better. I give him a lot of credit. I will say I think he maybe he was slacking off before, but he does show that he can step up when he needs to. So give him my props for that.
Right, because that was one of the complaints from Nico Harrison that he was too overweight, out of shape and everything. And we even saw that in games. I don't know that hindered his performance a lot, because he was still putting up 30 plus points, still averaging double doubles and everything. But even at a young age, you talk to take care of your body. And I'm glad to see Luka take this serious and get into performance shape. Sam, do you think this move the needle for you or anything for the Lakers going into next season, knowing that Luka's coming in to a new man? LeBron, he thinking about leaving. You think this move the needle for the Lakers in any type of way?
So my thing for Lakers always been I like the moves they're making, and I will say this. And again, I'm not a huge fan, but I won't disrespect him either. The LeBron, he's in the Jordan phase. He's coming to the end of the road now. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean he's been doing it. And again, there's no disrespect. He's been doing it. This is year 21 now, so it's not like he washed out with. He's got 4 championships. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad. It's just Luka's obviously the future. They're building to they can still contend, whether that includes LeBron Jr. or not. There's always rumor they might trade him still. I just think the Lakers, they need a couple more pieces. Marcus Smart was a nice add. I think that was big for them. He's a great player, great talent. I think they just really the key for the Lakers, I think they could be contenders is if they gotta solve the big man issue. They gotta find that powerhouse like what they had when Anthony Davis when he's healthy. You need that big body underneath. I think that's the only thing they're lacking. I know they've been leaning on LeBron for that, which he could do, but at 41 now, no one's scared of LeBron at this point. I mean, he still can
Right.
play, but he's not your epitome of a big man. You need that big body. Like I'm talking like you go way back in the day. Like I said, Bill Russell was the epitome of the big man back then. You need that scare, or even Shaquille O'Neal. You need that big force under the rim. If they had that, I think one or two of those, even the power forward spot, they'd be good to go. They got young talent, they got good depth. They're small yet. They need to go just a little bit bigger. If they have those couple of big pieces, I think they could be a huge threat, especially in the West. So I think that's all they need.
Yeah, because when they ran to the Timberwolves or the Nuggets, there was a problem because they didn't have a big man to take care of,
The Jokic.
Goldberg,
Yeah.
Jokic
Yep.
and Goldberg. So they were getting killed on the board. They did bring in Aiden, but Aiden, he's we'll say the lack of effort is not there. So he
Right.
didn't. A lot of people is just overlooking that move from the Suns. It's like, man, they still lacking a big man presence
Yeah.
and everything. But
Yep.
with Luka transformation, they just showed me one thing, that he's serious now.
Yeah.
That I
Yep.
think he's tired of naysayers. He's in LA, so people's talking. He's
All the
hearing it
time.
more days. He hearing it
Yep.
more than he heard it in Dallas.
For sure.
Lakers
Yeah.
fans are unforgiving. Like the Lakers fan, they love you until you're not winning.
Yeah. Then they turn on you real quick. So yeah.
They turn on you real quick. They
Yeah.
still hate LeBron out in LA, because what he did to the Lakers team, blowing it up. Even though they got the bubble championship, a lot of people put asterisk by that. A lot of people still look at LeBron like, hey, you ruined my team, get off my team because it's all about you. But with Luka,
Well, yeah. I
he's
mean,
more lovable too.
again, like I said, I'm not a huge diehard fan, but LeBron was always, I grew up, that was the era I saw. Like he was one of the best generations for me growing up. I mean, obviously coming out of high school at 18, coming into the NBA, and he dominated for, 21 seasons. So, it's the same thing like Jordan though did back in the day. He dominated up until, you're in the age of your career where the twilight, you're starting to wind down. Doesn't mean you're not playing well. It's just, he's not vintage LeBron. He's aging now. I mean, time catches up. They say, even the best, even the great ones, eventually time's gonna catch up to you. So, but that's why I like too with Luka. What he's doing now is showing that number one, he's gonna be I think 26 this year. Start young, because as you get older, it's gonna get harder to maintain your body. So start being in shape now, because he could be built. I mean, heck, he keeps this up, he could be still. He could be, he could carry that load for quite a while and be that franchise centerpiece they lacked probably since Kobe Bryant. So, he could anchor that franchise for quite a while if he does it right. Stay healthy. Obviously, injuries happen, but if you're at least not carrying that weight around, it's healthy. It's healthier, less of a chance of anything else. I think he's showing that the Lakers made the right choice when they brought him over in that trade.
Yes, indeed, because we saw Luka carry that Mavs team to the final. So he only needed a couple more pieces with the Lakers to do the same thing. And as a Laker fan, I think people should be pumped that he's coming into the next season with a fresh mind, fresh body, feeling rejuvenated, ready to get to work. And we're gonna see what happens because a lot of
Yep.
teams, especially the Rockets, got better. Nuggets they reloaded. They reloading and
Well, look
the
at even
Timberwolves still
Oklahoma
on
City.
there.
They're young.
Yeah, Oklahoma.
They're young, and they're. I
Yep,
mean, yeah,
they deep.
they're
So the
not the
Lakers,
Lakers. Are not the
they gonna
powerhouse
need
in
it.
the West. They got some competition. They have to keep up with the horse race. They got to keep. They got to be able to keep up with these young guys in this team. So, I think they're in the right direction, though. I think they have. And again, this just for me. If I was GM in it, there's a few things I would do yet. But they're heading in the right direction. Now, whether or not that includes LeBron, I mean, again, that's still sight to be seen because they're still up in the air. Obviously rumors are rumors, but
Yeah.
you got to move forward either way. And only thing that for LeBron is I hope he doesn't do it is like, listen, either commit, you're retiring, you're moving on, whatever you're doing. Like, I don't know how much of it's true. Obviously, they're under new ownership. Ownership said,
Yeah.
we want to move on. So is there a fracture in the relationship? Is the marriage over for that? I don't know. I mean, but either way.
And then the rumors him going to the Mavericks.
Yeah.
With Kyrie and AD. I mean, I was just like, why would the Lakers do LeBron a favor and send him to the team
it won't
they
happen.
traded Luka? Like, I don't see that happening.
It won't, because Kyrie, the relationship with Kyrie's even said he's done with. I mean, just from what I heard there, he said, "I don't want to play with LeBron anymore. I'm just our time was good, but we sort of grew apart. We drifted. I don't want to be in that. I don't want to be in that shadow anymore because I was living in his shadow. Like he wanted to build his own. I get it. Obviously, I can understand Kyrie's feelings because obviously LeBron, especially all those years in Cleveland, he's the guy. So, like Kyrie's kind of like the Robin to the Batman kind of thing. He's the understudy. So I don't see that. I've heard LeBron to Golden State, why I just don't see why they would do that.
Curry,
I don't see it. I just don't see that meshing with, and again, I'm not saying LeBron's a bad guy or a bad teammate. It's just, I just feel like people realize too, he's not 18, 19, 20. He's 41 years old almost. I mean, you're same thing like Houston. The Kevin Durant deal. It's not a bad deal, but he's 37 years old. He's a year older than I am. Like you're not playing, like he used to be. He's not 25, dominating the board. So it's not a bad deal, but you're not getting the young guy like the Thunder we saw when he was drafted, this huge, superstar in the making. He's reaching that peak that he's about to plateau. So, and that's the question they say too. Even if LeBron were to leave, who's going to want him? I've heard rumors even to the Celtics. I'm like, they're not going to do that. There's no way that's going to happen.
I'm thinking more of the Cavs. I'll think more of him going back to Cleveland and finish it out.
That makes the most sense. Yeah, and I think the Cleveland fans would welcome him back. I don't see why. I mean, he finally brought a championship there. I don't think there's that much of a burn bridge to where he's not welcome there, and that'd be perfect. Again, end it where you started it. So
yeah,
you play another year, whatever, and then call it a career. And I mean, again, there's no shame in that. What else can you do? So I mean,
especially at that age, it's getting to a time where it's time to wrap up, man. It's time to move on.
He's not going. You can't 40. You're gonna at 41 years. You're gonna go 40 minutes a game on that court, like he's been. Like, dude, you're not Superman. I get it, but help. Yeah, you can't do it all. You're not, like I said with Jordan. Those last years with the Wizards, he could play, but you could tell like he's not vintage Jordan. It was the talent starting to go. It's no disrespect. I love Jordan. Jordan was one of my icons growing up. But you see, like those great ones, they begin to, time just it ages you. So it comes a point where it's over. So it's a young man's game. It's time to move on. So. But I think the Lakers have a bright future, especially with Luka, and they make a few more moves. They could be set for a long time to come.
10 plus years.
Yeah.
So we're going to shift gears and go on to the WNBA. Have a video to show y'all. I love videos.
Oh boy, I know. So does Deanie. So this is a common thing as we do here.
Right, it's a common thing.
A'ja Wilson was on, and they were asking her, could she beat an NBA player? I think it was Josh Hart, and she said she could beat. Do you believe that a WNBA player could beat an NBA player?
Bro, I was just talking about this. I just don't. It's not physically possible. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could barely grab rim you over the backboard. Like, I'm not about to play you. Like, but like, no, an NBA player, like, no.
What about if we took, let's just say we took a top 5 WNBA player. So we took Stewie, we took A'ja, we took Fee, Nafisha Collier. Who else you want to put in? You want to throw a Nescu in there? You want to throw Jonquel Jones? I mean, you want to put Caitlin Clark? Whoever.
Who you going?
And I'm going to take, let's just say for the sake of argument, I take the 12th guy. Not obviously KD, LeBron, Luka, that ain't happening.
Right.
But I'm saying we're going to take the 12th, 13th, or 14th guy. He don't get in but like 2 minutes left in the game when they up by 25 or they down by 25. Could they beat one of them?
Bro, it just depends on the metrics, bro. Honestly, it depends.
No, we got to play. Ain't no handicap. It's straight up basketball.
Them guys can dunk. Them guys are all Americans. You know how hard it is to get in the NBA?
I do understand.
Literally, I got a new appreciation for summer league. 'Cause I'm like, all these guys are playing for like 1 or 2 spots.
Correct.
And these guys booming. They 7-footers, bro. I can't get in that argument because I know I can't. I tell you that. Like, you 6'8" in a point guard. What am I about to do? I'm 5'10", almost 5'11".
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
and so a lot of people have seen that clip. Asia Wilson talking about she can be a NBA player and everything. And I think everybody's kind of getting a little tired of hearing about the WNBA players because, last week they came out with the pay us what you owe us type thing.
Yep.
So is it fair to say that the WNBA should, reconsider doing something to the league in order to, increase more views and get more people in the stands?
Never hurts. I mean, here's the thing. Like, one of the names they left off, there's one player like Elisa Leslie I could see back in the day. She could probably be one of those few that could play in the NBA because those women, those type of female athletes back then were a little bit more tough is the word that comes to mind. Physical. They could do that. See, it's like anything else. Sports, they're changing now. I like what she said. It's true. It's like comparing apples and oranges. You really can't put this in a position where, could these girls play these guys? I mean, again, body size, shape, everything's different. I think it just depends on the person too. But I think for the WNBA, if they want to stay relevant and they want to stay ahead of the curve, like the MLB, NBA, NFL, they're going to have to do some things too. They're going to have to revamp thinking because you want to keep fans invested, right? You got to have that that energy that the NBA brings. Even baseball. I mean, baseball draws attention too. So there's probably some things. I couldn't say for sure what that would be, but I think they have room to make some moves. But you got to keep up with the times. So I think the WNBA has some work they could do if they want to keep fans invested. Otherwise, that's a lot of money could go down the toilet right away, especially if they lose especially the viewership and aside of ticket sales and all that stuff. You got to keep it entertaining for people. But yeah, comparison wise, you can't do that. Yes, it's basketball, but it's the same thing saying male, female physicality. You can't measure that. I mean, she said, I'm 5'10", going up against a guy who's 6 foot, 7, 8. Yep. I mean, come on. That should be common sense. I mean, why are we having that debate? And again, it's no disrespect. I mean, the women do a wonderful job in that sport that they do. Same thing like wrestlers. Female wrestlers, could they handle male wrestlers? That's the same argument. Well, come on. The dynamics, the physicality is different.
Right.
You're trying to do like the round hole in the square peg thing kind of. You can't make that fit, So, but I think the WNBA should make some moves. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that was a crazy question to even ask. I don't know. Like, I think it's like delusional for
why
certain people to think that they can beat a top male athlete. You know what I'm saying? Like, like those guys in the summer league, man, they can run a court, with some of the college guys. With at the YMCA, you ain't touching them. They making every basket. I feel like that they try to compare men and women too much.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You can't.
I mean, Asia Wilson is great and all, but she's not beating a 6'8", 6'9".
No.
I wouldn't even call him a forward. Most of these guys are guards at 6'8" and 6'9".
And the funny thing is now, she's asking, you're talking to Shannon Sharp, who's a great athlete, but you're talking to a football player. Like a football player plays football. You guys like question, could female football players play against male football? Like you see this cycle of it's the same thing. Like no matter how you slice it, it's going to be the same rhetoric going around and around. And again, there's a lot of great female athletes. I'm not saying that women don't compete well. They absolutely do wonderful, but there's a reason we don't see a crossover between men and women's sports. Like there's a reason there's no
Right.
crossing over, just because I don't think it would be fair in a lot of cases.
Genetics. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
So
what it all come down to, genetics.
yeah,
And a lot of people might use that. Well, Fluja, I think that's how you say her name.
yeah.
They might use that against her because since the WNBA want to be paid more, they talking about millions of dollars
Oh yeah, yeah. Anything
getting
they can draw in.
paid.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the problem with that, they like pay us like the NBA. You know, you got the NBA players getting them big contracts. Like
yeah.
if y'all not playing, if y'all skill set is not up with the NBA, I couldn't see
No,
them
it's a lot.
getting maybe I'd say maybe 5 million. I'll pay Asia Wilson 5 to 7 million, 8 million, somewhere around there.
It's a
Cause
good
she's
base salary. Yeah,
yeah, I think
that's
that's a good
fair.
base salary. If you're a top 5 WNBA player, you should probably should be making at least 2 or 3 million.
Right.
I'd
And
say
then
that's the least.
yeah, and I mean, think about too. You also have, which the WNBA is same like the NBA and any other sport. You also have endorsement deals, which is going to give you the money too. So
Right.
if you're worried about just your WNBA salary, look, if you got deals signed with Nike and Adidas and whoever else, you're going to make the money in revenue elsewhere. So if you're whining about a few extra dollars in your actual basketball contract,
Mhm.
listen, even some of the greats, like these guys, like I remember a lot of these athletes going, I only made so much in my career based on my NBA salary, but people don't see what I made. I think it was Shaq even said, I made more in endorsement deals than I did when he did Pepsi or did I'm trying to think all the
Yeah, that
commercials he did for Burger King and all. He made all that money in endorse. His contract didn't spark a lot. Oh, he only made 70 million or whatever, 80 million in his career.
yeah.
That doesn't account for the endorsement deals. That goes up times whatever per endorsement. That's just his salary playing, but it doesn't include the
Yeah,
stipends on the side.
that what
So
Grunk was talking about. Grunk said he
right,
never touched his
never touched
pay
the
salary
paycheck.
from the league. He said he
Yep,
never touched it. He living off his endorsements. I like that's
endorsements.
gotta be that's smart, man. That's a smart fellow
Right.
right there.
So I mean, WNBA, same thing for the girls. Like, listen, I mean, if you're making a decent amount, and I know they're getting like Caitlin
They
Clark's
saying
got
making
deals with,
6 figures, but
yeah,
they said they're only getting 9% from the players only getting 9%. So they basically making what 300K maybe
I'd
a
say
year.
yeah. I think what they said, like Caitlin Clark's salary with the Fever is only like I think around that for the year. But I'm like, again, she's also getting endorsement deals, so it's got to be kicking that
Yeah,
up a little bit.
especially
They
with
just don't see that
Nike
number. That's
and
all.
yeah, they're getting paid from endorsement deals. So it's a hard thing to deal with, especially if they want more money coming from
Yeah.
that league. First of all, they got finished in the green instead of the red every year.
Well,
They're
that's big thing.
saying they're
Yeah.
saying 50 million. They losing 50 million. They say they have been losing money ever since the league started.
That's what I heard.
That's
Yeah. And I'm like,
unheard
so
of.
if you want to get
That's
paid, it's kind of
unheard
hard to
of.
do when there's no money. So I mean, make sure you're sustainable first. If the league holds out, then maybe a bonus or an increase is due. But until the league has sustained itself, I would just hold on and be thankful for what you get, because you could be getting nothing either if the
Six
league would ever
figures
to
is
fold.
good.
I mean,
300K. I want
listen,
300K. Give
I,
me. Hey, I
I
won't complain at
said,
all.
listen, I would mind. I could sit on a bench for a year and make $100,000 just sitting down. What the? Why the heck not? I don't have to play a single snapper down. I'll just,
Right.
sit bench warmer. I
Yeah,
mean,
they would
shoot,
say they make fun of backup quarterbacks. I'm like, that dude making 6 figures just
he
holding the
still makes
clipboard
more. And some of these
and
guys
working
get a
out.
ring. Some of these guys even get a ring sitting on the bench. I'm like, geez, that's just a bonus if I happen to be on a Super Bowl winning team.
Right.
But
And you
you
get a
know,
bonus.
I mean, yeah, no.
Man.
So I think again, it's a hard comparison. But if the WNBA reaches the likes of the levels of the NBA and MLB and NFL and stuff, then maybe you want to reconsider your negotiating strategy. But until then, make sure you're just sustainable first. You don't want the league to crumble either. You don't want to go
Right.
bankrupt. So I think that's the
Yeah,
big. I think that's the bigger
it's a
issue.
it's a lot of different factors going into the women basketball league. Like I said,
Yeah,
the advertisement is terrible.
it's
I remember
horrible.
last year, Sound Crow, the Sky was playing against the Fever.
Yeah.
The game
Yep.
was on Saturday, so the
Mhm.
whole time thinking game coming on like prime time, like 5 or ish or something like that. So
Right.
I went to my son's baseball game. It was early in the morning. I think it was at 10 o'clock. I went to his game. And I was just like, I don't know what made me look at my phone to go to scores. I don't know what I was looking at, but I went to scores. and I saw the Chicago Sky, and the Fever was already playing at 10:00 a.m.
Yeah.
I for the first time actually mad about a WNBA game missing it. I was
Yeah.
very
Right.
I like who plays a game there early in the morning with marquee matchups between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the same thing
That's
like the
unheard of.
NFL playing in Europe. Why are they playing at 9:00 in the morning? Like most games start on a Sunday at
5
1:00. Why
a.m.
are they playing? I look at my phone going, oh, the Eagles and the Jaguars are playing. What? It's 9:30 in the morning. It's like, and it's not even televised because they're in London. They're playing. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Who gets up to watch this stuff except for British people? I mean, come on.
NFL, lucky for them, they are kings, so they can waste money and
Oh,
put
sure.
in stuff avenues. But it made no sense for a WNBA game.
No.
Marquee matchups, come on early in the morning. Like them things should be set up at Saturday at 5 p.m., 6 p.m. When
Because that's your golden opportunity.
Come my whole plan for the Saturday, go to my son's basketball game, do some yard work, get done, clean up, sit down from my TV and watch the game.
Probably the same thing a lot of people would do. That's probably everybody's plan.
Yeah,
so you're
that
missing
makes
out on all
sense,
these
right?
views. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I said I don't make the rules, but I mean, whoever does, they should rethink their thinking because something ain't working somewhere.
It ain't working at all. So man, I hope the players they figure out something.
Hopefully,
and, hopefully they get a deal done because the CBA is coming up, and let me just
that
tell you,
usually
they do
does help
not
a
want
lot.
to sit out. They do.
No,
not
you don't want to. You don't want to lock out. That just draws things out too much.
That's the NFL. NFL went through lockout. They came out
and even the NBA. I don't know how many times. I remember that one back in the mid '90s. That was the worst lockout the NBA had seen. So yeah, you don't want that.
I don't think the WNBA can afford a lockout.
They really can't. No, they got to do something. So I think they got to be patient. Just be patient. Again, make sure you're sustainable, and good things can happen once things get rolling a bit. So just don't try to do too much because you could just as easily tank everything. Like don't try to do everything at once. You got to take steps to stabilize and really make sure you're going strong, and then you can start playing with the figures and how do we get and doing that stuff. So. Don't let it go to last minute and don't let it collapse because it's really hard when that happens to build it back up.
You ain't lying. So we're going to take a little sponsor break. We are brought to you by Swift Energy. Man, if you're feeling tired, you need a little pick me up, grab you some Swift Energy. Use our code VOL13, get 25% off of a tub. So cop one of those and you'll feel a lot better. I promise you. So Sam, man, we're gonna. What you say?
I'm good. I might try it too. I'm not usually one for sales, but that sounds good.
It's a Canadian-based company. It's a Canadian-based company, man. So
can't be bad. I mean,
can't be bad. It's might be better than some of the American companies, right?
I always say I'll try anything once. So
Right, and you get 25% off. You use a code. So there you go.
Can't beat that. Hey, win-win.
All right. So we're gonna watch another video about Micah Parsons and his contract issue.
Okay. Yeah.
Further away from a deal in late July, early August than we were in late March, early April. The two sides have gone backwards, not forwards. I don't think they're speaking very much these days, if at all. There was communication in late March and early April when Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons were sitting down and discussing a deal and making progress and tracking towards getting that deal done. But this negotiation, when it was a negotiation, has gone sideways because it's not a negotiation right now. There's really no conversation about getting a deal done. That could change next week. It could change shortly before the season. We've seen how long Dallas sometimes waits on some of these deals. See CD Lamb and Dak Prescott last season. This sounds different to me. This sounds a little bit more personal from both sides. It sounds like Dallas is upset with the fact that it felt like it was getting closer to a deal, and then that deal went sideways. And I think Micah Parsons feels like this deal should have been done. I don't think Micah is real happy with them. I don't think they're real happy with him. I don't think anybody's real happy with anybody. And I don't think there's a deal that's being discussed right now, not to mention being close.
Yeah.
So that was Adam Schefter discussing Michael Parsons' contract situation, and Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones' son, came out
Mhm.
and said that in order for Michael to get paid, we got to see him do it on the field. I was just like, wow, the dude had 12 sacks
What does he
last
got to
year.
do? What does he got to
I don't
do?
know.
Pay the man. I mean,
Ah,
here's the thing. I hate to say this is the thing where I don't care for, and I'm going to say this, and I apologize for Cowboys fans. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Jerry Jones never liked as an owner and horrible at general manager duties, and just doesn't handle business well. Because here's the thing. Like Adam Schefter said, and Dallas is coming into this window again. They got to renegotiate with CD Lamb, and they got Dak's contract coming up. So part of the issue is they got to watch the salary cap implications because they got to pay all these guys. You don't want to get too top heavy with, these large salaries. And here's the thing. If it was anybody else, like any of the B, I consider Micah Parsons an A grade type player. If it was like a B type of player, obviously it's different. But this is like the core of your defense. He's like the leader on this defense. Okay, that's like saying my all-time favorite defender back in my day was Ray Lewis. That's like saying we're not going to pay Ray Lewis. You're kidding me, right? You're not going to pay Ray Lewis, probably one of the greatest linebackers that's played in my generation. Watch, or like a Lawrence Taylor. You're not going to pay the guy. Why not? I mean, he leads the defense. Because who else does Dallas have? I mean, yeah. They lost
to Marcus Lawrence already.
He's gone, yeah. And the worst part is this way. The key thing that Schefter said, which is this part of it is the relationship is deteriorating. So even if like they're having this marital spat, but even if they come to resolve, if these bad feelings drag out, Micah Parsons could say, you know what, at some point, I don't care what you offer me. You're disrespecting me. I don't care about the money at this point because you should have done this sooner. Like if you wanted it done, this should have been hammered out before training camp even started, before even the draft came up. If he's and probably what he's feeling is I'm not a priority because this is again the season's about to start. You can't get this nailed down yet, and you expect him to be happy about it. I wouldn't be happy because that tells me how much do you value? You don't value me then because you're dragging this out. Why? And again, if it was any other guy on the 55-man roster there, maybe, give or take, but your core young guy on defense who's still under the age of 30, he still had all those. I think he led the team in sacks last year too. I think he was the sack leader. You can't piss off the wrong guy. That's your star power there.
And they acting like Dallas acting like they have options here. Like he's literally the best player on your defense, right?
They don't have options. Yeah, I mean,
they don't have any options. Like Jerry, what are you doing? Why
you're
you
pissing
playing
off
hardball? Why you playing hardball with your best player?
Pay the guy.
Defense?
Pay the guy and let him. He's proven it. And then, like I said, money's tight. Spread it out. You don't have to get top heavy, but you want to show your appreciation because that's what I think the thing of it is. It's going to be a lack of disrespect, and that's probably what he's feeling like. Because what's going to happen is like these other players, like we see, holding out, not showing up to camp. Like now, the only difference as an example, and I'm not blasting him per se, but like the James Cook situation in Buffalo. Is obviously his brother Dalvin's had a better career. Know who he is. James Cook's just starting out. Bro, just show up and play. You haven't done anything yet, okay? And no disrespect intended.
Cook,
yeah,
for James
and
Cook,
again,
this is like it's only two good years.
2 years in. You haven't done anything. So before you start making demands for a new contract, you got to prove it first, okay? That's what I would tell him. Again, I'm trying to keep the dialogue open because I want to make sure I respect your feelings. But a guy like Micah Parsons, there's no contest there. Again, he is the one that's been proven that he's carried that defense since they drafted him. So, and again, all these guys walking out free agency, they're losing players and they're not retooling. They didn't bring really anybody in. So you're going to have more holes, especially what if he holds out during the season? Well, now your core leader on that defense, and they're going to say, oh, well, he's going to take penalties. If he wants to make a point, like look at a couple of years ago, I use this joke because I never forget the whole Le'Veon Bell situation with Pittsburgh, right? He held out the entire season. Now, to me, that's ridiculous because he threw away $14 million, didn't show up for Pittsburgh once. I get your point. I get you're trying to make a statement. but what are you doing if I'm a teammate, what are you doing for me? You're hurting the team because you're not showing up. I get there's a beef with management, but at what point do you say, okay, I bite the bullet, I play? Because that's what I tell anybody.
14. You still getting money. You still
get paid. Yeah, and then, listen, and your contract expires, you're just auditioning for someone else. You can leave in free agency. You always have that right. Like, why would you want to blackball yourself to the point where nobody's? And again, it was a different situation. The guy I can't stand anymore either is Antonio Brown, doing all these antics. What does it get you? Now, why is he not playing in the NFL now? Nobody wants him because he's a head case, right? You could have just played. You could have just, you're frustrated by your contract. You're frustrated by whatever. Make that known. But you show you're a better person by showing up at least, honoring that deal, and then say, all right, I'm telling the team, you know what? My contract's over at the end of the year. I'm leaving. And that's just being upfront. So, and again, I don't think Micah Parsons is that far, but I wouldn't put it past him if this continues to drag on like it shouldn't have been this long. And I think even Schefter said it's going to carry into the season. This is not going to end anytime soon. This is getting like worse and worse and worse.
Because Micah Parsons watched TJ Watt get paid. He watched my mind just went blank on his name. Dude from the Browns.
Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett get paid. So he's like, he said, I seen those guys get paid. I should get paid
Why not
too.
me?
And he's correct.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's right.
We do a podcast after a loss, but you still don't deny what he's bringing to the table. And for the Dallas, they haven't done nothing all year. They've been sitting on their hands all year. Dak coming off an injury. You trade for another head case and George Pickens. So you put a Band-Aid on the offense. You didn't really address your running back situation. You bring in Miles Sanders. So your team is not even the second best team in the division. I would say it's third. I have the Commanders better than the Cowboys right now.
Oh yeah, they'll challenge
number one.
Yeah.
So you need all hands on deck right now in Dallas. You need everybody to come in, be on one accord.
Yep.
And be focused on playing football, not worrying about their contracts. And you got the wrong person worrying about his contract.
You're making enemies at the wrong time. Yep. You're making an enemy at the worst possible time. And this is why I said, like, Jerry Jones, no head for business as far as team concerns. I'm like, this is not a guy, like, again, you want to piss that off. It's the same thing we said earlier, like the situation with LeBron. Now, whatever happens there, you do want to respect the guy, so you don't want to piss him off because obviously he commands that respect too. But for Micah Parsons at his age, and I've watched him play, even from Penn State days to since he's been in Dallas, he's really stepped up to the level of player that they were getting when they drafted him. So I can understand that feel. But yeah, when TJ Watt gets paid and Myles Garrett and probably some of these others that are going to get paid down the road, you got to be sitting there going, Micah Parsons going, well, what the heck? I mean, especially like if I got more sacks, than some of these guys. I do more than that. Like why? Because the team culture is not to, some of them is not to bend. That's like I said, the Patriots all those years, Belichick was always notorious for, I'm not paying guys. I'm not overpaying for people. So, when you go there, you understand
sometimes, right?
Right. You can understand that you knew, and guys knew that going to New England, you ask these guys now, like they said, when we went there, we chose to go because we wanted to win. We understood that this was the culture that we're not going to ask for a lot of money because Belichick said, I'm not overpaying for people. That's just not what we do. But in Dallas, and what does Jerry Jones do? Dallas hasn't won a Super Bowl since the 90s, okay?
90, so, it was like 97 or some 96.
96, I think was the last one. So
96. I think,
they don't have nothing to brag. So what are you bragging? Since Dion was back during the day. And again, look at Washington, look at Philly, and even, dare I say it, they're still a ways away, but even the Giants are trying to build a culture there.
I feel like they're a quarterback away, man. I feel like
they could be. They made some nice moves in the draft. I love the move with, the players that they brought in. And, like I said, if even the Giants are starting to surpass you, and Cowboys fans, you should really be concerned because you could be better than what you are now, but you're self-destructing, and that's because your ownership and management is not taking care of situations. Like Schefter said,
not at all.
Could it change down the road? Yeah, but you're making a lot of unnecessary fires right now and causing a lot of unnecessary issues where like I said, I would not surprise me if they come to an agreement on the road when Dallas finally says, all right, we'll bend and we'll play. And Micah says, you know what? I ain't playing no more. I waited all this time and now you want to negotiate. Well, it's too little, too
Yeah.
late. My feelings are beyond repair. So it's just a messy situation, I think. And again, I have no sympathy for Cowboys ownership because they put themselves in this position. I just feel bad for the fans because the fans deserve a lot more. There's not much expectation otherwise. So
none whatsoever. I mean,
it's going to be a rough year. That's for sure.
And Jerry, RC, he's my co-host. He said he's not telling Jerry, he don't want Jerry to die, but he's saying Jerry need to go. He just needs.
Oh, he's thinking
like,
something. He's not saying it, but he's thinking. Yeah.
He said, "God, the Cowboys ain't win nothing till Jerry leaves."
Yeah, no, he's got that silent judgment. He's not saying it to the Boston's face, but he's thinking it. So, well, they can't. And sometimes you got to make a change. And again, that's why I said you can preach like Dallas says, we'll be back. We'll go back. If you don't make any good changes, you're going to repeat the same path. It's like those years when they went 3 straight seasons at 8-8. Well, how's that an improvement? You went 3 straight seasons at 8-8. That means you're average, no improvement. So,
that like the Steelers.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And again, here's the thing. Like even Pittsburgh, and again, it's no disrespect to him, but like with Belichick leaving the Patriots, I think Pittsburgh's got to move on from Tomlin. He's been there too long now. He won a championship. Yeah, he's done all these things. But the team, he's not carrying the locker room. They're not winning. And what has he brought to the? What is it? It's been what 18 years, 20? Was it 2010? Was their last? No, 2000 and
it was like 2011, I think.
Was their last Super Bowl win? They haven't won anything, and it's nothing personal for them. It's just sometimes you got to change things up in order to stay fresh and to stay relevant. And it's just sometimes the formula doesn't
work.
To
say, people like to bring up. Him saying that he make the playoff every year. Yeah, because you barely getting by.
You're squeaking in.
Your team's going 8-8, 9-8. Yeah. You barely getting in there.
Like last year, Pittsburgh was what, the 6th seed? The Pittsburgh got in, they were the 6th seed. Like you're I don't want to be just squeaking in. I want to be the number 1. You want to be a higher tier, not like or like these teams like the last final 3, there was a race between what was it, Denver, Miami, and who was the other team? That was like they were all like 7 and whatever, and then they just barely got in because of one team lost, the other team won, and so the playoffs were set.
One game, yep.
So you don't want to be in that situation. So
yeah, that's what they was talking about. My friend, my other co-host Tyler Wright, he called it purgatory because you're in the same spot and
every time,
every year. You know what you're gonna be every year,
and the players got to be tired. I mean, listen, like. I know for me, like I'm one of those. When I play, like I want to play to win. Like if you're caught in that pendulum of we're not going anywhere, well, something's got to change then because it's not working. I don't want to be average immediate. That's one of the things I always said, and people criticize. Like I've been a big fan of Tom Brady's for years. You can say what you want about him, but the man knew how to win games. You don't win 7 Super Bowls for no reason, okay? And he said, "I want to win. I don't want to be average." And every year, I mean, look at his career. 23 years he played. He made the playoffs every year of his career. Every year. He was in 10 Super Bowls. That's 14% of all Super Bowls all time. He's got more rings than any franchise has, okay? And I know there's the haters, there's the naysayers. Not everybody. I get all that. And I have people tell me, oh, why do you I respect the man who, he's a winner. He's a proven winner. He went out and did what he said he's going to do. So, when you have, and look at players, like even when he went to Tampa, players want to go there because they know he's a winner. They want to play there because they're like, we have a chance to win there. So who says that about Dallas? Nobody's saying, oh, let's go to the Cowboys. We're going to be average every year and we'll be mediocre. And here's the thing too, like no disrespect again, but I think for Dallas, I know his contract's up too, like with Dak. Dak Prescott has not impressed me to where he's like the Donovan McNabbs of the day. You can't get over that hump. You're average to get this team to the promised land. You get close, but you don't get to the big game, and you can't win the big game. Same thing like Josh Allen. Buffalo has a good team. Well, almost doesn't cut it, though. He doesn't have the Lombardi, though. Same thing with Lamar. I love Lamar, too. I wanted the Patriots to draft. I thought he'd be a good Brady replacement back then. Nothing against Lamar. Great talent, but what does he lack? There's no championship. So, you gotta build a team. And again, if the championships win defense, as they say, Dallas, your best chance could be riding the shoulders of Micah Parsons. So make sure he's in the building. Make sure he shows up. Make sure you pay the guy. Like, your greatest asset, you're letting him walk out the door. I mean, I'm no expert, but I think that's kind of dumb if you kind of go that route. But that's just me.
Yeah.
So
you know what, Sam Crow, I'm glad you brought up the quarterbacks. About Josh Allen, Lamar. We can throw Dak in there. Kyler, all the other quarterbacks, they put up good numbers, Justin Herbert, but they just seem to can't get over the hump. So how do
Yep.
you feel about Jalen Hurts? A lot of people bringing up that he's the 7th best player on his team, that he's not really top 10. He's like some people have him top 9. Actually, I had him number 4 in my list of my top 10 quarterbacks.
Mhm.
And Cam Newton was dogging him, saying that, he's not doing nothing special. He's not really just that dude for his team.
Well,
How
I heard
you
this.
feel about
I want to say this since you bring him up, and again, no disrespect, he's the same age as I am, but as far as Cam Newton's concerned, bro, and I don't care if you watch, you hear this, you ain't done nothing in your career. So what are you talking about? You didn't even bring the Lombardi home, okay? All right. And
he
again,
said he's a winner, though. He said he won MVP. He said he's a
no one
winner.
cares, bro. They want do you think they remember you for the MVPs? They remember the championships, man.
Yeah,
like, come on now. And he was there, and Carolina could have had that against Denver, but they didn't do it. So that was my other complaint, because I heard him say that on his talk show there. You're carrying that team in Super Bowl 50. You could have won that. You didn't. So my point is, you can't be saying stuff about these other guys because you ain't achieved nothing yourself to that level. I personally, and I've watched Jalen Hurts. Look at the Eagles quarterbacks in their history too. And again, I bring up Donovan McNabb because that was the era I watched it. And again, no disrespect there, but he took the team they got to the Super Bowl, once, and they couldn't win it back in 2005.
And that was a good team.
That was probably better than this last Eagles run that they had. So, and the only guy I feel really bad, one of my all-time favorite Eagles was Brian Dawkins. I feel bad for because he was anchoring that defense, and they could have had, but he never got one. But I think Jalen Hurts, I think he gets a bad rap because first thing off the bat is look at him compared to Mahomes, to Lamar, to Josh Allen. He's already cut ahead of them because he's got the ring now. So, in my opinion, and people might say I'm crazy for it, I have him a bit above Lamar and Josh Allen because what do they lack? They don't have the hardware. Jalen does. And look what that Eagles team did. He carried that team on his back. He made several clutch throws. I mean, between AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, making those catches, they're balling out there. And he scrambled. I don't forget how many yards he had scrambling in that Super Bowl. I think he's very underrated. I think they give him a very bad, rep. And why? And who's to say? Who are the experts that are judging? That's the other question. Like, again, it's usually the guys that haven't won anything, like the Cams, that are opening up and say, "Oh, well, he's this and that." He's got a Super Bowl.
They saying that he's subpar because of how the team is stacked. So you have AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, you have Saquon, you have the best top 5 O-line in the league. You have the top 5 rated defense. So they looking at that and saying, like, man, you have everything on the silver platter. All you gotta do is just not mess up. But for me, he played better than Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
Oh,
he lost.
He outplayed.
He did a masterful. He did a masterful job in the last Super Bowl. He made the big time throws. He put them where they needed to be. He handed the ball off Saquon. He didn't fuss a fight about Saquon getting too many carries. He did what he needed to do, and that's what you want in the quarterback.
That's what a good leader quarterback does. Yeah, that's what. That's what a franchise quarterback does. Yep.
He don't overplay his hand. That's what you want in a quarterback.
And that's exactly what I like about him is I could say, if I was building a franchise, I would build around him because those tangibles are there. Yeah, maybe he's got that offense. Maybe he's got. What's wrong with that? At least you have. Why would you want your quarterback to struggle? Like, you want to set him up to fail and not have those talented pieces around him? I mean, it's a luxury, especially having you got AJ least the Titans for sure in that trade. And then you get Saquon back there and their defense carrying. I mean, look. And then you could say we could plug anybody. You can't just plug anybody there. The quarterback is still an important position there. It's absolutely critical. You could see those that are good at it, those that are just. And believe me, I've watched football a long time. I've seen a lot of average quarterbacks. We could go on for hours about. But Jalen Hurts has got talent. And you know who I equate him to? Who I could think could be the next Jalen Hurts? Jaden Daniels in Washington. He's got a lot of the same skill set. He's got a lot. Last year he made a lot of huge throws, a lot similar to like what Jalen Hurts did. He's got that same construction of makeup of what he can do. The only thing I think for Jalen Hurts, and my advice is same thing guys like Lamar is, and I know a lot of these other quarterbacks have said this. Being a mobile quarterback is good, but you got to be careful because that can shorten your career too. So I think over time, you got to take less chances running unless you have to, especially as you get older. If you're going to do it now, great, but your body's going to take punishment. Again, we said earlier, once you go outside that line, you're fair game. You're going to start taking those hits. So I would just hope like Jalen, some of these guys, preserve your career a little bit. Don't just throw your body out. Even Patrick Mahomes, at some point, he's getting older. You're going to start taking those shots. So, if you do that, but no, I think he's very unfairly criticized for a guy who was his fourth. He was drafted late.
Fourth, fifth.
Yeah, he wins a fourth or fifth. He wins a Super Bowl, and again, most quarterbacks don't even do that in their tenure. I mean, what more does he? And again, what happens if when he win? I think he'll win another one for sure. Or is that going to be enough? Are people going to say, okay, now he's got like Mahomes? Oh, he's in the race to beat Brady. He's going to be the all-time. He ain't going to pass Brady on that one. He's not getting 7 rings. Kansas City's on their way down now.
I feel like Buffalo and Ravens. The Ravens, they had a good. That's what I'm saying. Like when people bash Jalen Hurts, the Ravens had a dang good team. They had Dan Henry back there. So I don't see the hate. And I feel like the Ravens, the Bills, the Bengals. Once the Bengals fix the defense and fix the O-line, we had the Chargers coming up. The Broncos beat the Chiefs last year. There's a slew of teams that can knock off the Chiefs. Kelsey's
exactly.
Old. He's gonna be out there soon.
Yeah. So I mean, think about and for Hurts, he's only in his mid-20s, and again that now obviously Saquon has been broken down, and he's only probably got a couple seasons left. They're gonna have some, but you still have AJ Brown. Now, I know they're talking about moving on from Dallas Goedert, but they could bring someone young in there, too. I mean, as long as you keep the core intact, Philly's intact. And again, that's a very weak division, let's be honest. I mean, compared to, other than Washington, who's going to challenge Philly in that division? I mean, Dallas ain't going to do it, and the Giants ain't going to do it. So, and what was a couple of years ago, 7-9 was enough to win that division, which is pretty pathetic. So, they could be stacked. They're going to carry and again, even look at the NFC picture entirely. Who's going to challenge the Eagles over there? Yeah, Detroit's getting 5. Yeah, Detroit's getting there. I mean, I like Detroit's got some young talent. Washington looks good. They could be a threat there. But other than that, who else is over there? I mean, the Rams have gone south. The Niners have gone south. Minnesota, no. I mean, Bears ain't going to do anything to Philly there, no. Who's down? I mean, maybe Tampa. Tampa Bay still got a decent squad there. New Orleans won't do it.
I would say the only team I can see is the Lions.
Yeah,
and the Lions got dog walked by the Washington last year in the playoffs.
Oh, got yeah. So
I was so upset about that.
But yeah, I think I like Jalen. I would say compared to all the NFL quarterbacks today, he's definitely in the top 10. You got to put him there because. I mean, who else are you going to put there? There's a lot of these guys that are supposed to be the franchise that are not living up to the hype. So, again, he won the Super Bowl. He's statting the records. He could break some Eagles records. What more do you want the guy to do? What does he got to do to earn that respect? Exactly. So, winners
what
win.
else they want him to do?
I agree.
Yeah, they just, man, people just, I don't know. They just hate because
they can. They feel like
he got a team around and he doing what he needs to do.
And it ain't broke. Don't fix it.
Yeah, it ain't broke. So I have my NFC North record prediction. I want to tell you what I feel like what these teams gonna do this year, and you give me an overall grade after I'm done.
Okay.
So I have the Lions winning the division at 11-6.
Hmm.
I have the Bears at 9-8.
Okay.
I have the Packers at 8-9. I
Okay.
have the Vikings at 7-10.
Okay.
What's my grade? What you think about that?
I'm just searching here because I'm trying to think of how the roster is laid out. I know what they're working with there. I would say
It's tough. It's tough. It's a tough division. Everybody's is neck and neck. It was hard for
yeah,
me because a lot of these teams can go, a lot of these games can go either way. Like
yeah,
every team that I was looking at in the division has a weakness.
right.
Like the Lions, they lost their offensive coordinator. So is the offense still gonna be good? They lost Aaron Glenn at DC. The defense was a letdown in certain
Yeah,
cases.
yeah.
So that
I
was I
mean,
had to think about that. And
there's
then with the Packers, their defense is terrible. And Jordan Love, he turns the ball over. He has a little
he's
Brett Favre syndrome.
pretty
He,
much.
he turns the ball over, man.
I
And then
mean,
with the Bears are young. They got Ben Johnson. Can they put it all together in 1 year? Who knows? So I gave them a little bit over 500. And
yeah,
then with the Vikings, they lose. With the Vikings, they did lose a couple of key defenders on defense. And then
yeah.
Sam Darnold is gone. Now it's JJ McCarthy coming
I
in
don't
after
know.
that.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what he looked like.
right. And he's coming off that injury. He was injured last year. Like you don't even know if
ACL.
his leg's going to hold out. I will say this though: if I graded that, I would give it a B plus.
Okay.
Because obviously the Lions have to be the favorite, regardless. I know you losing Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn does hurt. I mean, and I'm not a huge fan of Dan Campbell. I mean, yes, he's doing what he can. I just don't care for the personality of the coach there. But the players are what
Not
make it
the
happen.
you don't like biting kneecaps.
I just well, and again, even when he was, I watched him when he was a player. Like he wasn't anything special
Yeah,
as a
he played
player.
for
Okay,
Saints. Yeah,
Saints
he
and the
was an all right
Cowboys. He
tight
was a
end.
tight end.
Yep.
He wasn't. He was third string tight end. But what I like about the Lions is you got Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got the receiver there. I love Jameer Gibbs. I
Jameson.
think Jameer Gibbs is going to be that Barry Sanders incarnate kind of thing. I think he's
Dude,
got
yes.
potential. So I could see them winning. Obviously, I like the Bears at 2 because Caleb Williams has got some perennial talent there. I think the Bears need some pieces yet, but again, I think they're gonna luck themselves into the number 2 spot because of the faulty play from both the Packers and the Vikings. I think they're both going to self-destruct this year. Because again, same thing, Jordan Love. He's not impressed me a whole lot yet. You're not getting the team anywhere yet. I mean, again, I don't want to be a naysayer or the hater, but you've been there how long? And again, since Rodgers left, that was like your time to shine. And so far,
2 years.
haven't
I think
really
he's been
stepped to the plate
2
yet.
years.
And now with Minnesota was loaded with talent, but rolling with McCarthy. And what if he tears his ACL? What happens again? Who do you got back there? Oh, you don't have Darnold. No one else is there. They're talking a Kirk Cousins reunion. Well, that's real inspiring there.
I don't know
Yeah.
who is this backup.
I forget. It was what's his name? Was it Nick Mullins? I think from the Niners. Somebody. It's one of these like low rated. Like it's nobody big name. Or what's his name from? Who was that one from? No, because
I'm looking. It's Sam Howell. I didn't know he went back.
that too. But they just traded from Sam Howell. I said it's not Daniel Jones. He went to the Colts, but yes, but they're not. They don't have a backup plan. And even if they go out and get Cousins, which was rumored about, that's not going to do nothing. I mean, at 38 years old, he's not going to. I'd rather have Joe Flacco there. I'd rather have him go out and get Flacco.
Cousins, they back where they started, losing in the first round of playoffs.
So yeah, I like that. I think that's about accurate. I would be surprised if. Obviously, if the Lions don't win the division, but I'd be surprised if any of the other teams, unless again the season could change. But I don't see outside of that in the Bears. Unless a miracle happens for the Vikings or the Packers, I think they're both going to tie for last because I just don't think they got enough to carry it. So I would say B plus. I think that's about how I would grade it and assess that division for sure.
Yeah, because like I said, with the Lions, the key is the offense. With the Bears, the key is Ben Johnson. If he can get them if he can get Caleb Williams getting the ball in his hand a lot quicker, then it's gonna bode well for him. And like I said, with the Vikings, it just all depends. Like, cause the Vikings offense is good, but I knew they couldn't sustain it for long. Like when they
Right.
finally went to playoffs, their ugly head, it finally
Yep.
showed the true colors of the team, and they got their tail beat by the Rams.
And you
So
know what's
it
gonna
just
happen. You know what's gonna happen too. The only guy I feel bad for in the Vikings, and I can see this. I don't want to start a. I'm not starting a rumor mill, but the only guy I can see who unhappy who would want out of there is Justin Jefferson because they're gonna waste that talent. And you
yeah,
know,
and it's Jay is that it just man. It's gonna come down for the quarterback play with the Vikings. That's all gonna come down to can they put up points against in this
maybe,
division
and it
versus
could
Taylor
happen.
Williams, Jordan Love. Jordan Love can put up points. It's so
Yeah,
can JJ hang in there and put up points, and can the Viking defense step up and
then
make
maybe
plays and stuff? Because the reason Vikings was in games because the Viking defense
they
were
kept them
causing
alive.
turnovers.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
kept them alive. Yep. So I mean, you never.
man,
And again,
I don't know.
the ball could bounce any which way, so it could happen. Stranger things have happened, so it's not unrealistic. But when you look at it on paper, it's like I just don't love what I see on the depth chart there. I just outside
Yes,
of Jay Jettas at wide receiver, and I mean even with Aaron Jones at the backfield. And again, I love Hawkinson. Hawkinson's a great addition at tight end, but I'm like outside of that, like who do they have there? I mean, is McCarthy going to be this? And they could have had Rodgers. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think that would have been enough, but I would have taken Rodgers probably over McCarthy at least to give your season a shot. I mean,
one more year. Yeah, Kai, you come
yeah,
off that ACL, like give
yeah,
him one more year to sit. Why
give him
rush
time.
it like 21, 22?
Give
Like
him
let him
that because
sit.
that's what they did. Look at Washington. I feel bad. That's one thing I said. Washington ruined RG3's career because they rushed him back after that injury, and he wasn't the same
Mhm.
after that. He needed more time. So you could ruin McCarthy's career right off the bat, and then what do you do? Then you're stuck without a plan at all. So I just think
So with Sam
that
Howell.
yeah, there's your savior, your golden prophet to lead you to the. But you never know. They said about Darnold, he got him into the playoffs. I mean, he was balling. So
I
I
knew that was
don't.
gonna last. Like for me, you cannot change your
Nah.
stripes. And Sam Darnold has been terrible his whole career.
Yeah.
Like I told the guys, I said eventually he will start seeing ghosts again. And
Oh
sure
yeah.
enough, he starts seeing ghosts in the playoff game.
Yeah.
and that's
And you
why
think
and that's why he's gone. That's
and
why
you
he's
think
out of there.
you really think he's going to revive the Seahawks out there? I mean, come on, they're in a
No,
worse spot than
no.
the Vikings are. I
Yeah.
mean, come on.
Seahawks playing for a quarterback next year. That
Talk
was their
about going
plan.
from bad to worse. Yeah. I mean.
All right, so that was my NFC North record prediction. We're gonna move on to our last topic. I'm gonna see if I have it here. If not, I can go off the top of my head. Oh yeah, here it is. New York City Mayor Eric Adams said a gunman who killed 4 people who I can't say that on YouTube unalive.
Yeah.
I mean, YouTube got all
Gotta
these
be careful.
policies.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad, YouTube.
Sorry.
Unalive, 4 people at Manhattan office building was trying to target the headquarters of NFL, but took the wrong elevator. The police said that Shane, I don't know how to say his last name, had a history of mental illness, and a
Mhm.
note was found on his body
Yep.
suggested the former high school player had grievances against the NFL over unsubstantiated claims that he suffered from CTE. So apparently
Right.
he played for the NFL too. I didn't know this. I'll have to
Yeah.
do more research. I heard somebody say that, but I'll try and correlate why we have grievances with the NFL. So that makes sense that he played for him. So
Right.
he had CTEs, man. I send my condolences to the people that lost loved ones
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everything. So, what's your thoughts on the mental illness and CTE with football? It rears its ugly head once again.
Well, this is where, and we've seen a lot of it, especially the last few years. And what I always tell people is look at the longevity of players where, just say running backs, for example. Back in the day, again, when I watched sport, 20 some years ago, running backs would play, 35, 36, maybe like my age now, almost 37.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, these guys retiring at 27, 28. Like that's cut down a huge percentage. And the reason is injuries, whether that's brain injuries, broken bones, the grind of the game. Look at a lot of these guys that their careers are shortened because of concussions that, the Steve Youngs, career cut short, too many One guy I think a lot about, who I know I've been on this bandwagon. People have been critiquing him, but look at Tua Tagovailoa. He's had
Oh,
how many
man.
concussions, and he's barely 26 years old. Like, dude, you know what? You might need to consider hanging it up early, because that's going to come back to haunt you when the career is over. And that's the thing. The thing about CTE was, and I'll never forget this story, because one of the guys I love watching, this tells you how old I am, but Junior Seau. And that was a tragic story, where he unfortunately did himself in because of, I think, the brain trauma. I think the league, though, is taking smart measures, like with the Kevlar line, with the helmets. They're trying to make the game safer. Again, it is a contact sport, and players know this when they go into the game. You know what you signed up for, as that saying goes. But I think you take precautions, and again, fix the equipment. Make sure you have. That also leads to I have a whole topic of why I prefer grass over artificial turf, for that very reason, because of injuries. So, for the ground, it's going to hurt, but off of artificial, and I've walked on artificial turf. It is not.
Hate it.
It does not give. It's like walking on rubber. It does not even. Doesn't. I'd rather fall. And I played football. I'd rather be tackled on grass. Turf's almost like getting body slammed on a wrestling mat. It hurts.
Right.
So,
and rip the skin off your arm.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I think the league, though, is doing. I think they're doing their diligence. They're researching it. They've been testing all these new helmets. It shows that the percentage of concussion rates are down based on the scientific knowledge, what they're testing these newer helmets with. And again, there's only so much you can do. And again, I feel for the players, I feel for families and stuff, but I also say, look, you realize that if you want to be a pro athlete, especially in a contact sport, you can say the same thing like with hockey and stuff, you understand the risks of the injuries that could happen. And I mean, it's just the nature of the game. Think about how football has developed between now and like 40 some years ago. I mean, it was rough and tough in the mud, grinding, and you break a bone, you get back up. Some of these guys, they play through injuries. They played with injuries. They can, and you got to be careful even with that stuff. But I wouldn't say I blame the NFL as far as, how much more can they do? They are trying to they are taking it seriously. There've been countless meetings, like winter meetings, and the league officials have talked about wanting to make the game safer, and they're doing all the right stuff. Could they do some more? Maybe, but I think for people too, it's kind of the same thing of where there are mentalities. Some people just mentally decline sometimes, maybe disease ridden or whatever. There's a lot of mitigating factors, but I just think at the end of it is you take all the precaution. Again, everybody wears equipment. They test all that. That's what the training guys are for. They test everything. One of the things I said too is try to eliminate like the preseason, for example. I get it. This is one thing I always hated about preseason is, and this has changed over the course of time, but your superstar players, like the guys that are going to start for the year, they want to play in these games that don't mean anything. Why? Why would you risk? Who was it? I forget. I just got hurt the other day, and I was out for. And they just cut him. Traylon Burks from the Titans.
Yeah, Traylon Burks. Collarbone.
And they released him, but he wasn't playing. He's done for the year, and he didn't even get to the preseason yet. Like, when you see unnecessary, like I know you got to practice. I know you got to do all this stuff. You got to prep for the season.
Yeah, they call them dress rehearsals.
Right.
Preseason.
But for me, when I always, if I play any sports games, I always let my understudies, the second, third, and maybe fourth stringers, the rookies out of the college class, let them play a little bit, Like if you have the years with the Patriots all those years, Tom Brady, you don't need to be playing you don't have to prove anything. You're the starting quarterback, right? So why are you playing in a game that don't mean anything? There's no point. And then what if you get hurt? You're out for the year when it does matter. So, I think, you could do a little bit more than that. I think teams should put a moratorium on certain conditions. Like now, if there's now look at Cleveland, there's a close competition at the quarterback position. Okay. You got to play it out because you don't know who's going to start. Could be Shador, could be Dillon,
Flacco.
could be Flacco, could be Pickett. So those kind of competitions, they got to play. It makes sense. Okay. That position is not settled. But like a Myles Garrett, he's your starting defensive end, then let the guy behind him play. Try to preserve his body for, the contact coming in. But same thing, like we talked about kickoffs and stuff. These guys should not be returning kickoffs, playing out there. You know, if you don't need to be out there, you shouldn't be out there. Like, try not to put yourself in harm's way until you absolutely have to. And again, trying to make it safe. I mean, the people I feel the worst for are like the officials, the line judges that are out there with no equipment. You see how many injuries they
getting
get
run
hit.
over. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, that's the thing. I would not. That's a job I wouldn't want because they get punished and they're not wearing any helmets or pads or nothing. You get hit by a guy all padded up who weighs 250 pounds. I mean, you know. So, but I think the league is doing its best to try to limit the injuries. And I think, like I said, again, you know what you're signing up for, so you can't blame them when you say, "Oh, I got hurt because I'm playing football." Football in the contract, it says contact sport, which means you're gonna take hits,
Head injuries, yeah,
and injuries. And if you sign the waiver, which they do, you know what you're getting into. So,
and most guys now they take policies out on themselves.
Yeah,
you know, to
good
help
idea.
out with medical bills and everything else, because they know the injuries that come with it. And my thing is too, I feel like you said, you can't blame the NFL. They have been doing a lot of things to help out CTE. They won't let you go back in the game if you even look like you have a concussion.
You got to pass protocol.
You gotta go through all these protocols, and then they offer the Guardian caps. To put in your helmet. I mean, they doing their best that they can to help guys with CTE, and then they even got programs. They're bringing physicians to talk about mental health with the players. So you have team doctors and physicians with you 24/7. And I feel like this kid Anger, it might have been placed wrong because
wrong target.
He's been playing football his whole life, so he's been getting brain damage
for a long time.
From a long time. So it just happened to get worse when he made it to the NFL. And maybe he's mad because NFL couldn't pay for some of his doctor bills or whatever.
Could be.
But like I said, you sign up for it, you only get so much amount of money. So it's the risk, the reward. It's almost like Squid Games. You sign up for something, and now you're in the game. You know,
you're locked in.
Right? Yeah, you're gonna lose something. You might lose, like we saw Ronnie Lott lose a finger.
Yeah.
And we see Alex Smith almost lose his leg. You know, so that's what happened when you play a contact sport, and you cannot blame a company that you willingly signed up for to go play.
And if you're worried about getting hurt, like I said, these guys, then retire young, then walk away.
Yeah, be like Barry Sanders.
Yeah, I think he was smart. I think, and again, I know people were shocked. Like, why did he? Is he healthy nowadays? Yeah, he walked away unscathed. He had no lingering injuries. No, like these guys like Jim McMahon. He's already starting Alzheimer's there from all the headshots.
Brad Favre having Alzheimer's.
Yeah, I just saw that came out recently. See, that's what I mean. Like, even after time, like, these play, and one of the things they started, which I love too, is these veteran players are starting a program to mentor young players. It's more so about how to be smart with the money and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they also talk about, like, listen, if your body starts to turn on you, maybe it's time to walk away while you still have your health, because even if you walk away as you get older, like even Gronk, I said this because he's exactly the same age I am. He's a couple months older than me. At 36 now, if he was still playing with that broken back and multiple concussions in his leg and I'm pushing 40 years old. You start feeling that. Even if you're not playing, you got to walk away when those injuries start piling up, because you got to live. There's life after sports too. Like, how are you going to live? I mean,
I remember who else retired this year. He retired pretty young. I forgot who it was, but we saw like Luke Kuechly. He was dealing with concussions. He like, all right, I can't keep playing having concussions. So he retired early. It's just
Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald walked away.
Aaron Donald retired early. So
you see the writing on the wall. Yeah,
it's a little bit of both a give and take with the company and you, but you gotta take care of yourself first,
right? And your family. Like, look at these family. Like, these guys, you're married, you have kids, you have responsibilities outside of the game. Like, you got to think about, and I know it's easier said than done sometimes, but like, when you got family, like, I know guys that say I retired because of my family, because, I didn't see a lot of them. I didn't spend a lot of time. My kids are growing up on me now and stuff. So that's good reason. Also, because your body, you really want your kids to be taking care of you when you're falling apart, when you're, they got to see dad, like, wheel him to the hospital because of these CTE, having to have brain scans and MRIs. Yeah.
Nothing like
So,
that. Yeah.
and it's like I said, some of these guys, if you accomplish success early, like even look at who was it? Barkley, I think was Saquon Barkley said it. I could retire abruptly at any point. I'm at that point in my career where it's like, you know what? I'm not dragging it out, and if I feel like I have accomplished what I wanted to, then I could just walk away. I don't have to sit here and suffer, and because he's been injured too throughout most of his career. So
Yeah, I think he has almost every year he's injured. Now
yeah,
he's showing that he can stay healthy, but
over
oh
time
man,
that's
what
going
a
to catch up to you. So you
yeah.
have to be smart and know like when is. And I've heard this saying, and I think it's true. A lot of athletes will say is, "We'll know when it's time. When it's time." If you feel like it's the right time, and those of us on the outside, we have no right to judge. Like, if the player knows, hey, you know what, personal reasons, I'm walking away. Totally respect that because
We respect it. Salute to
it's
you.
time to walk away. It's done.
Mhm.
Whatever. Like, I think it was J.J. Watt retired too because his body said, my body just can't
His
take it
leg.
anymore. I can't play. I can't do it anymore. My mind wants to do it, but the body can't do it. I can't take the pain anymore. Who was it from was it the Cow? Leighton Vander Esch was another one. 27, he just
Oh
retired.
yeah, he did.
And he said that bottom line, he said 27, but he said my body has been taking a beating. I can't physically perform. I end up on the PUP list. I can't play anymore. So, and he said, even though my mind is young and I'm only 27, my body is a broken down horse that just I can't play the snaps anymore. I can't take the hits. I can't feel my legs. I can't feel my back. I can't feel all this. It's not worth it. So,
It's not
I
worth
think
it at the end.
I think the key element too for guys, especially worried about brain injuries, if you play a position like quarterbacks are going to get hit there, or even like look at these receivers,
Linebackers.
some of these
The
shots they
offensive
take
linemen.
away, and you're worried about your mental, especially the mental health state, and you're getting old. Maybe it's time to ride off. Then you have to be like you said, they have to be the one to say, I have to be big enough to walk away now for whatever reason. Maybe I'm hurt. Maybe it's this. No one else can do it for you. You have to say, all right, and then be at peace with it. Like Kuechly even said, I'm done. I played as much as I did. I enjoyed the game, but I just I can't give the physicalness to it anymore. I gave everything I had.
People like to place blame on other stuff, but sometimes you gotta
Right.
take blame on yourself. Like
That's the hardest
knew
part. Yeah.
you knew the consequences, you knew the actions.
You signed the contract. Yep.
You
You went in
signed the
there
contract
and
you wanted that, you loved the game, but if something hurt me for over the long run, then I'm stepping away.
And that's like this other point. The other one you had, I'll just mention this briefly because I know it was one of the topics. I was thinking the Travis Hunter thing. He wants to play. He wants to play both sides. Okay, and I think it's a nice idea. I do. I think it's unique. It's something fresh. But speaking of injuries, that's twice the risk now of getting injured because you're playing on offense and you're playing defense. You're on the field probably more than the average player, so the risk of getting hurt could be significantly higher because you're catching the ball, you're taking hits. You're playing in the secondary, you're expected to give hits. So. And again, I'm all for it. He's obviously young. He's just starting, so I get the ambitious side of it.
It's
but
not gonna last. It's not.
As you get older,
impossible. Dion
could, no,
he played both sides in college, and once he got to the NFL, he I'll do kick returning and punt returns and play defense because these guys he's small, he's not very big, and it's just not gonna work well for him. In practice, they had him on 36 snaps on offense. 47 snaps on defense. Your body is not going to last.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Where do you get and then you get a break? Like I said, especially what if the game is a fast-paced, intense game? Like, because sometimes they say, "Oh well,
you got to tackle Derrick Henry or something."
Forget he'll bowl you over. Forget that. He's gonna lay you out front. And it could be one shot to the face. That could be it. So it's things like.
Pro, I'll just say this. I played corner and safety, and I have taken a shot. When I met a guy head on, I laid into him. He laid into me. He was running back.
Yeah,
and I feel like I got the worst end of it. I had a stinger. I had a stinger in my arm. I could not move it. I was just like, I took the worst of that hit. Even though I felt like I gave a good pop on him, like I laid a solid hit, but I felt I got the worst of it.
You're like
Travis Hunter gonna feel it, man.
It's a good idea, but at the same time, it's like a little Volkswagen hitting a semi. Like you're gonna feel that Like, listen, if you were playing, would you want to tackle the bus? Would you want to hit Jerome Bettis when he's a bowling ball running through? Derrick Henry?
I'll be too tired playing offense and defense. I'll be too tired to try to
I'd be
tackle him.
like, get out of his way. Like, some of these guys, like Tiki Barber was even a hard rusher. Like, get out of his way. Like, let him go. Like, that's why they call it Herschel Walker. These bowling balls, they go through, or like that game, the Super Bowl. I always laugh because I said, I know it was one play, but the fridge, William Perry, they lined him up at the goal. I'm not stopping him. They put him in. He's a defensive tackle at running back. Here's the end zone. Go ahead. I'm not touching you. Go ahead. I mean, he weighs what?
Travis Hunter going to have to tackle in the open field. If he's on defense, then he's going to have to make that tackle on Saquon or Breece Hall or, on Najee Harris. He's going to have to get in there. And that's what I'm saying. How you going to play both snaps?
Yeah.
If you making tackles on defense and getting run over and everything.
Yeah. And then you're gonna fight with guys like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, these physical receivers. You're gonna have to be like trying to fight for the ball. T. Higgins. And then when you're on the offensive side, you're the receiver. You got to go up against these other corners that are going to be manhandling you. Mm-hmm. So you're getting hit on every corner. And again, I know he's young. He's young enough. He probably figures he probably could do it for a little bit. But are you going to do that and expect to play 20 years in the NFL? I don't think so. So, I mean, it's just, again, and it's the risk factor. And he's been adamant. He said, if they don't let me play both, I might retire. Well, I mean, you do what you got to do, but, especially playing for a team like Jacksonville, playoff hopes are kind of slim too. So are you really going to throw your body into that for that? No offense again to Jaguars fans, but, I just think, again, you got to be smart and you have to understand. And I think at some point the league should consider like a moratorium on an age limit. Like they say, you know what, if you are this old or you've played like this long in the league, you should be subject to a retirement option, because not that we're trying to force you out, but we want to preserve your life after football, because you're not going to be playing when you're 60 years old, whatever. So, it could be something to consider. And I know players are probably not going to like it. They're going to feel like, oh, it's putting pressure. But I'm like, listen, if you put enough time in and you do all this stuff, why take the punishment? All your money that you earn is going to be in hospital bills. So
yeah, I guess why they said play at your own discretion.
Exactly, and that's in the contract. What they say? You got to read the fine print. Read that contract, fine tooth comb. That's all in there. So,
all right. So there you go, guys. Like I said, prayers up for the people that was killed in that incident.
Yeah,
we're gonna get into some sports news. Then we'll be on our way out, guys.
Okay.
I don't know. You saw this picture. A LaMelo Ball new tattoo.
Oh yeah, I heard about it. I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
I don't know if it's big enough, but I'm gonna see. Oh boy, where did it go? Okay, yeah, that's his new tattoo.
Why? I mean, okay. I guess if you have the money to do it.
That's why they say you shouldn't give people money. You shouldn't just give us. Why do people with money all of a sudden, especially players, want to tattoo their whole body all of a sudden? They just get that bored with money. They're just like, all right, I'm just going to get some more tattoos. Now, that's be the weirdest tattoo I ever seen in my entire life.
I mean, like, that's like saying Kanye when he rips his teeth out to put diamonds in. Why? Why would you? I don't understand. I guess, again, you have the money to wait.
Man.
Yeah.
You can't be that bored.
I mean, it's nothing against tattoos, but at least make it something a little more like worthwhile. I mean, I just don't understand what the idea behind this is. I don't know. Like,
he's bored.
I guess.
Go fishing.
But like LaMelo Ball, like, what have you done? Like, yeah, not exactly a top tier player. It's not like you're a LeBron or a KD. Like, it's like these guys are making a name, but why would you spend and then again, this is the perfect example. You don't know how long your career is going to be if you have one. Well, if you waste all that money now, what are you going to have left? What if your career's cut short? What if you don't play again? Like, and this is what you spend it on.
Man, we don't get into that. I got another sports news topic on that, but I'm going to show you this guy. He has 6 fingers. I forgot his name, but he has 6 fingers.
Oh yeah, I heard about it.
2,
okay,
3, 4. I in my mind, I think he got a little Nephilim in him.
Maybe, yeah, could be. That's what
that look like a functioning finger. Cause most
Yeah.
time when you see stuff like that, it's like a little finger that's just there. But it
No,
looks
that's
like
full size. That's like an
that's
extra
full
extension of the
size,
hand.
man.
Yeah.
That is.
Wow. Strange thing. I mean, everybody's got something, a third, whatever, but that's third,
Yeah.
fifth toe, sixth toe, or extra
That-
belly button or whatever. I mean, but that's
That's
something.
pretty insane. That's pretty insane.
I always
All
joke, I said
right.
that's kind of like the twin that they absorbed. He must have absorbed his twin and just left his
Yeah.
finger there.
He said, "I'll give you my finger."
I'll leave you my
Remember
finger.
me.
That's it, bro. You're good.
Caitlin Clark Starker was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yep. So he got caught and sentenced in prison. And
Doesn't pay.
Maurice, I think that's his name, Maurice Morris.
Mm-hmm.
According to court documents, the NBA player allegedly got $115,000 from MGM Grand Hotel and Casino via bad checks. He never paid it back. He never paid it back when the check bounced. Officials stated around a month later he performed a similar scam at another Las Vegas hotel and casino, netting $150,000. Checks he knew he wouldn't cash.
Okay. Yeah.
Like you got money. Like, why are you doing? Like, some people
Why
say
would you
don't have
poke the
money.
bear? Like, I mean, and like they
What's
said,
up?
no one's gonna find out. Yeah. Okay. Like, sure. No one
you
tracks
writing
that stuff.
bad checks. Come on,
Oh my
man.
God. 150
why?
kid. And it's not for like $5. I mean, that's something that might slip the cracks, but
Yeah,
that's an awful lot of money. I mean,
Morris has been in the league for how many years? 10 plus, maybe.
begs the question: what does he do with his money then? If for some reason maybe he doesn't have it, he's just not letting it on. A lot of these guys go bankrupt. That would shock you. I mean, again, why do you need bowling alleys in your basement? Why do you need 15 cars? Why do you need, like, that's like we said with Gronk, guys like that. I didn't touch my paycheck. Well, good for you. Now you got money to have after life after. So that's a lot of guys should do that, but they don't. They get that bug, they burn a hole in the pocket, and they buy anything that's not nailed to the ground. So
he played 13 years in the NBA. So I would say he has. Let's say he had about $125 million.
I say, yeah, that sounds about good. Yeah.
So, like, where is that money that you writing bad checks to scam casino hotels? First of all, you scamming a casino hotel, they gonna get you.
They know
they gonna get their money, man.
They do notice. They do check the numbers there. They do see those missing digits, especially the large digits. Like, they're gonna notice. But it goes to show maybe he made bad investments. Maybe there's a lot of these former, like, these NBA, NFL champions, Super Bowl champions. They're hawking their rings. They don't have any money because they didn't invest properly. So maybe he didn't have. Maybe he squandered it all. Maybe he. It could be a lot of things. Maybe some scams that got involved. Maybe he gambled it away. There's all kinds of things could happen. But when you do that on top of it, that just makes it 10 times worse. You're really
10 times worse.
Putting yourself in the fire head first. So, and there's the old saying, paper trail. They do check that, especially the MGM, the Grand. That's a huge money making hotel. Like, they do. They do check the records. They count every penny down to the last cent. Like, they're gonna. I mean,
that's the wrong place you try to write bad checks at. I'm sorry, they're just stupid.
I mean, maybe go to the local gas station, a small establishment, nothing that has, like, up to the wazoo security too. Like, yeah. I mean, I'm not advocating it for anybody watch. I'm just saying, just as an example,
be smarter.
Be smarter.
Be a smarter criminal. That's what he's
please.
saying.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, if you are gonna do it, to each his own, but just try not to do it like you get caught on the first try. You go too big, and then you literally go home. So I mean,
he said he went big and definitely went home.
He went home, and he's gonna be in there for a while. Yeah, so that's just unbelievable.
Deion Sanders, his surgery was successful. He is now cancer free. They took out his bladder. So prayers up to Deion Sanders.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep, give it up to Coach Prime. There you go. He'll be back on the sidelines this year. So there you go.
The Denver Broncos have extended Cortland Sutton 4 year, $92 million. Woo!
Interesting.
That's what Michael Parsons trying to get.
Yeah, and you pay now again. Nothing against Portland Sutton, but I mean, I'd rather pay Micah that. I mean, that's just me, but
So the Cardinals corners, Starling Thomas, he had an ACL tear in practice. He started
he's
for the
done.
Cardinals 22 games. Yeah, and that
He's
was a
done.
Cardinals problem. That secondary too.
They-
The Cowboys left tackle, apparently it's just a lower leg injury. He's out 4 to 6 weeks.
Yep.
And the Browns came out and said they are reportedly trying to trade one of their quarterbacks. Who do you think it is? Who they trying to trade?
I saw this. Here's my. I actually commented. I saw this question on Facebook, and I gave my assessment. And I'll say it in short. Obviously, we know it's not Shador, and we know it's not going to be Dylan because they're the young kids coming in. So the safe answer, the safe answer would be Joe Flacco, obviously with the old man out. But for me, honestly, and I kind of followed the trend that I saw in the answers. My vote would be Kenny Pickett, only because. And it's definitely against Kenny Pickett. I mean, he's had some struggles since leaving Pittsburgh and everything. But Flacco, I mean, again, he's not the prime what he was, but he's got a relationship there. Cleveland likes him. The city's embraced him there. And from what I've understood out of camp, he's had the better camp aside from the rookies. He's actually done very well. And even though I know Stefanski has been very mum, he hasn't been tipping his hat to, someone's got to win. They even said, well, we could keep 4 on the rock. You can't do that. And especially my other question is
a lot of quarterbacks.
Yeah. And what do you do with Deshaun? Because Deshaun's going to pop back at some, they're going to move on from him. They have to, because they can't keep him. Even if he does make it back to the league, you're going to have to get rid of, you're going to be too top heavy at the position. So I think, honestly, of the 4, I think Kenny Pickett's probably the odd man out, even though it's not being said. Just because it could be him, maybe it's Dylan. I don't know, but I just find it hard to think the rookies are going to get dealt because they haven't had much experience.
I don't know if you heard this. The owner came out today and said that Shador Sanders was not his pick.
Yeah, I did hear. Well, yeah, and you know what?
That
I can
is
tell
crazy.
You know why it's sour though? And again, to each he makes mistakes, but those 2 speeding tickets didn't help his reputation. And I think that's what's part of the problem is he's getting a bad. Listen, I mean, aside from that, I thought from what I saw in training camp, I thought he did fairly well. I'd be hard pressed to say you can't have him not in the conversation to even consider starting or keeping him on the roster, let alone starting, because he's done everything for the most part. I mean, yes. And my only advice to Shador is, which I'm sure he's probably heard, especially from Dad, is you got to keep the off the field incidents to a minimum. Like, don't start getting a reputation off the field.
Keep your head down, son.
Keep your head down, because I mean, I think he's got a bright future. I'm still shocked that he fell as far as he did. Because obviously, I think he was high projected 2nd round, and he didn't go to the
5th, I think.
His 5th round, and even Pittsburgh passed. I mean, now I don't think Cleveland's going to resurrect his career. I'd say at some point maybe consider an option when you get more established to move on. But Cleveland's got young talent. Why not keep him in the mix? So I mean, you got to do something. Deshaun Watson, definitely the tenure's over, regardless if he comes back or not. That relationship, and Here's the thing with Cleveland is, and I blame the Browns organization for, is talk about overpaying for a guy. You locked yourself in with and again, he's got some talent, but I would not pay him $240 million guaranteed up front. Why did you give him what is he giving you? He's been injury plagued. He's got these off the field issues. Is he worth that $240 million? No. So
they thought they were getting the prime Deshaun.
Yep. No, you got the problems. Now you got the penalty. So that's why I said the rookies, I think they need to keep because they're going to be on cheaper deals. Right. And again, Flacco's got maybe a year or so left. He's pushing 40. He's a Band-Aid. For me, if I had to pick, it's Pickett, because I'm not saying I don't like him, but I don't know. Every time I watch him in short spurts, he's good, but is he starter material? I don't know.
He's a career backup.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and they got enough of those. So I mean, if you know he's not the starter, then the common denominator is he's got to be the odd man. And again, there's a team. The Saints could take him. They could use help there. I mean, there's all these lower teams that the Browns could probably get a decent return for. So
probably like a 5th rounder. But if the Browns do cut somebody or trade them, it would be Pickett or Watson. It'll just come down. Like you say, you keep in Shador and Gabriel. They're your rookies.
They're rookies, Flacco
Flacco run the ship for a year, then let Shador start. So
yeah.
That's pretty much what played. But I was just kind of shocked that the owner would come out and said that publicly that he did not want Shador. That's just
Then what?
crazy to me.
And then I would say, like, why would you draft him then if you weren't high on
He said
him?
that
Then
he said that was a GM. That was
they
his
always,
decision.
they always do. Oh, I didn't. Oh, the heck you didn't have him.
Why
Come
can't
on
owners
now.
just shut up? Why the owners just can't shut their mouth and just go on about their business? Why they always gotta talk?
Because you
And
know what
when
it
that,
is?
it's
They don't
just
get enough attention. They have to be in the
right.
media as much as everybody else. So that's why they get bored. Because I'd be bored sitting in an office. I mean, yeah, you make a buttload of
I'd be on
money,
a
but
yacht somewhere in the
yeah,
Caribbean.
I'd be having margaritas, taking a fun vacation with the family. You know, like, why do you got to be in the news for?
Golfing, working out. I don't know. Like, hey, I'll call my GM and say, man, how everything going? All right.
Are
See
you
you
good? Yeah,
in a
okay,
month.
great,
Yeah.
man. I trust you. Like I said, look, if I run the team, I say, look, Swift, you're my GM. Hey, how's it going? You're running. Yeah, man, you don't need me. Don't text me. Don't call me. If you
Right.
need to. Like, I'm in the Bahamas with the wife and kids. I don't need to. Don't. I trust you. You spend my money how you want. I don't care.
Yeah,
As long as
I see. I can see the roster from here. I can
yeah, I'm
see the
good.
moves. I'm
I
okay.
follow
Y'all do your
ESPN.
thing.
I talked to Adam Schefter. We're good friends. He tells me everything before he
Yeah, you tell
posted
me
it.
what's
So
going on. Like I know a couple reporters in town. They tell me how the
yeah. So
team's
we're good.
looking.
I heard
Yeah.
about. Did you know about the? Oh yeah, I heard already. We're good. Even before it hit the media, I knew about it. So yeah,
It's just wild, man.
it's
So it's
crazy.
gonna be preseason game Thursday. I can't wait, man. We're gonna have to bring you back, Sam Crow.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I'd
gonna,
love to. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, it's a lot. I always love to chat because I don't get much chance with everybody who likes to. Not everybody is as sporty. And I will
yeah.
say this: I don't know if you heard through the grapevine. I've been telling Deanie this when we do like with Pod Squad is. I
Mm.
am itching for the game night to have you back for the sports game because
Oh
I owe
man.
you one because you beat me last time and I want the rematch.
Yeah,
So
I beat RC too. RC is my co-host, and we was on Pod Squad and we played the sports thing, and I edged him out. Like it was so funny because we did logos, and my brother went way
yeah,
back to like 1940s or something. So he was looking at a logo that I never seen either.
yeah, right.
He was like, what is that?
But I'm sitting there. He's
I was
like, "Well, we got to get Swift back." I'm like, "Well, I said to Deanie, I said, you tell Swift I'm itching for a rematch because that still burns me the wrong way." So
yeah,
anytime you want to go,
what was that? It was a hockey team, wasn't it?
yeah, something. I was again
It
old
was like
logo.
an
I didn't.
old school, the old
I
school
couldn't
hockey
see it. I'm like,
logo.
oh man, like I said to Deanie, where do you pick these games, man? Like you're picking all the hard stuff. Like, gee whiz. And he goes,
It's like we study old school logos or something.
yeah, like I wasn't even born then. Like, how am I supposed to like? I can go back to the '90s and maybe some '80s and maybe '70s, but
Maybe 60s, maybe 60, but
maybe,
not
but
nothing past
19.
60s.
Oh, this was the
30s.
Browns in 1925. Yeah, okay, sure.
I never seen that,
I'll,
bro.
I'll take your word for it.
That was a rough draft logo that we had that we used for one season
It's,
and we threw it out.
oh yeah. And I said to him, and Deanie goes, "Well, I'm not much of a sports." I said, "Well, make it easy on the rest of us, would you? I mean, want to make it? I mean, gee whiz." But no, I appreciate it. It's always good because like I said, I love to talk. I've been involved loving sports for gosh, it tells you how old I am. Almost 30 years. I was a kid, so growing up, it was. I still have an appreciation. I mean, it has changed, but it was just always something you grew up with. Like when the seasons changed, like football season, you knew it was coming when the weather gets colder. Like that was always
Yes.
football time,
Perfect time
summertime
of
with
year. It
baseball.
was
You can
almost
smell the
like our
grass.
Christmas.
Yeah, pretty much every year it was
Yeah.
great, and it was just something about the energy. And like in the springtime, this fresh cut grass. It's like ooh, baseball season because they're mowing the
It's right
fields and
upon us.
stuff. And I
Yeah,
play
man.
basketball. I love getting out there. I've been out years in the driveway, out and playing on the court and stuff. Like there's just something about being out there shooting the ball around, and it just has that energy that most things don't. So I enjoy talking about it, and I've picked up a few things. So that's why I always tease the guys. Even Deanie's like, I don't know that much. I said, well, they're not everybody's forte, but we can't all be good at everything. But there are some good things. So
Trust me, SoundCloud. Sometime when I talk to Houdini, I send him a picture. You like, who was that? And I just look at him. Like, bro. Like, I think I was talking to him about Caitlin Clark. I was doing like a T-shirt. I was doing a graphic T-shirt for Caitlin Clark. I said, how that look? He said, I don't know. He said, I don't know nothing about her. I'm like, oh my word. I said, forget it, man. I said, forget it. Don't even think about me testing you ever again to look at a graphic or something like
that's
that.
why he's like, he'll go like the squad. He goes, okay, what's up next week for the game? Oh, it's a sports game. Well, I'm out. Everybody else is like, well, I'm out. I said, well, I'm not. So I said, well, tell Ben. I said, get on here. I said, we'll make the whole show. We can do it. I mean, heck, we could do sudden death. You know,
I
but it's
need to
all
come
fun.
back, man. It just, man,
Yeah.
my schedule be my son. He played baseball and other sports,
Mhm.
man. It's just when everything is settled down, I'll be back on Pod Squad. I told Pagosi I was coming back.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make my debut. I'm gonna be coming in like Sting from the Raptors.
Yep. Back from the dead,
Like,
coming in like
yo.
the prodigal son return. That'd be great.
Right.
But no, I appreciate it, man. Like I said, I'd love to come back, love to hang with you guys. I mean, the sports thing is always something I never get tired of. So anytime I can lend an ear or lend my advice to it, I'd love to join you guys. So I appreciate that.
Awesome, man. No problem. Again, guys, go follow Sound Crow on all social media platforms.
Yep, check it
I
out.
will put it in the show notes when I upload the episodes and over on YouTube. But I gotta put this ad in here real quick. We are brought to you by Bet Us. We got your game. Place your bets with Bet Us. We have baseball going on, WNBA, NFL, college football by startup. So it's time to win some big money. Time to bring home some cash. Don't be like Maurice Moores and write bad checks. All right.
Get your money right,
checks, guys.
Get your money right away. Don't waste it. Yeah, pay your debt.
Pay your debt, guys. Pay your debts. All right, guys. This has been real. Until next time, Sound Pro, like always, man.
You too, Swift brother. Appreciate it.
All right. We out of here.
Good night, guys. Thanks for watching.